Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what I do, please subscribe to my channel. Today, it's Valentine's Day, February 14th, so happy Valentine's Day. It is also a windy day. You may be able to hear the chimes and you may be able to hear the wind in southwest Florida. It's 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 19 degrees Celsius. It is just a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Today what I want to do is something just a little different, and I should say that I say that a lot. I tend to not follow what a lot of other people are doing, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. And when you do something a little different, you're not sure, or I'm not sure, whether it's got to work out. So I've presented some things to you that are a little bit unusual, that haven't worked out, and I presented some things that I think have worked out. So we'll see how this goes. The thing is, I work with orchids, and if you're interested in this, you're probably working with orchids as well. And a lot of things that I do and a lot of things that you do, you probably can't tell if it's going to work out or not, because it takes so long for the orchids to respond, or it takes so long for things to happen, because
orchids grow slowly.
So it's going to take a little while to figure this out, but in the meantime, I'll share it with you. I've done some other things, like I said, that haven't worked out. I've got some videos coming up on some things that I presented to you where they haven't quite worked out, some novel ideas and approaches. And today I'm going to share another novel idea with you that I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not. I think it will, and that's why I'm setting up and that's why I'm doing it. But today I'm going to try to create a new type of potting mix. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to put together some leca with some bark and some lava rock and mix it all up and add a little. No, I'm going to put something a little bit different in the mixture to see how it works. And this is based on an observation that I made, that I've shared with you in the past, about how well some of my plants are doing when they're mounted on my date palms. So on the date palms in my yard, especially now, I've got a Phalaenopsis that has about a meter long or a yard long spike on it, but then it has, that's the longest spike, but then it has two additional spikes on it that are a little shorter, but still it's pretty big. The plant itself is pretty big. The root systems are just grabbing on to the trunk of my date palm, as well as the other orchids that are mounted on the date palm. They seem to really like grabbing the date onto the trunk of the date palm. Trunks of the date palm, it consists of the base of the petioles of the leaves of the date palm. And in date palm, what you have to do is trim the leaves off of it in order to create a really nice kind of pineapple look on the trunk of the date palm. So as I'm trimming these petioles off, the last couple of times that I've trimmed the leaves off of my tree, I've kept the base of the petioles, and I've dried them, and I've harvested them, and I've kept them. And what I did a couple of days ago, and the reason I did that is because I wanted to see, and this is where the novelty is, and I could think of it, I could patent it and make $1 million, but you know, I'm actually too late, because I've already just disclosed it to you of this idea and this concept. So what the idea behind this is to take the bases of the petioles and to cut them up into pieces, and then to break those up into smaller pieces and treat them kind of like bark, but they're not like bark, and put them in the potting mix to see how my orchids grow, to see. And I've got a Phalaenopsis that I'm going to share with you today. So a couple of days ago, what I did was I took the base of the petioles and I ran them through a chop saw, a power miter, and I cut them up into about inch long pieces. And then I've taken that, I let it dry for a few days, and then I've taken that and I've cut it up into smaller pieces. And you get, you know, it actually is, it's a lot of work to make a small amount of the potting mix. So, you know, it might be better off if you would just buy the bark, but I like to try new things. So I harvested the bases of the petioles in my date palm. I chopped it up into pieces and cut them up into even smaller pieces, and I'm going to use that in the potting mix, and I want to show you that today. So the pieces that I have are about like this. So they're about an inch, half-inch long pieces, and the part of it right here, so this is the interior of the petiole. It's a little soft, so I'm not sure how this is going to hold up. Normally the orchids grab on to the top or the bottom of these petioles, and that's what this is really smooth, this surface, and this is what they normally like to grab onto, which is surprising because the surface is smooth. So this is something that's a lot rougher. It's also, I think, a lot more porous. So my feeling is that it may rot a little quickly, but I have to try and experiment, and I have to see how this goes and how this works out. So you can take some of these pieces that are small. You can take these, and they'll break pretty easily into these smaller pieces. And these are the sizes of pieces that I'm going to be using in my potting mix. Some of the bigger pieces right here, actually I could break it. But some of the bigger pieces were a little harder to break. That wasn't hard. And so I'm going to use these in the potting mix as well. All right, so we're going to just see how this goes, and I don't know. It's probably going to take about, again, from looking at this and the fibers in here, I think this will probably decay pretty rapidly. So, but we'll see how long it lasts. I give it about a year, but 2 or 3 years would be the ideal situation. The plant that I want to try to plant in this material is this Phalaenopsis that is from that my daughter gifted to me, and this is just a nice little fowl. It had a keiki on it a while ago, so I pulled the keiki off, and that's right here. And this is actually growing nicely in leca, so it seems to be doing okay, the keiki. So I still don't like losing plants, but I'm going to pull this out. This is the mother plant of that keiki, and the leaves are a little bit soft, so it may mean that the root system for this plant isn't doing as well as it should. So I'm going to take it out of, right now this is mostly in lava stone, so I'm going to pull this out of the lava stone. We'll take a look at the roots. If the root system doesn't look good, we'll trim it off, and then we'll plant it in the new medium that I've made. I should show you the new medium and what it looks like. So this is what the chopped up petiole pieces look like of this date palm. So, I don't know. You gotta try new things, and you gotta see if it works. And for me, it's fun. And like I said, I'm not sure what my success rate is, but I don't think it's real high. But I've got so many ideas that I'll just keep on trying them. So let me take this out of the lava stone and see how it looks. And I'll show you how it looks. Not real good. There's not a whole lot here. There are some nice roots growing here. The root system on this is just terrible. It's not very good, and I don't know if it's because it's dry. Actually, it doesn't feel bad, but it's certainly small for the type of plant that it is. The roots that are remaining on it, they're not bad. They're I don't think too many of them are dead. I'll trim a few things off. So I have this instrument that I actually flamed, but I don't even think I need to use it. Right there. These roots just really, it's not, what's here is not in bad shape. The problem is there's not too many roots here. And here's the longest root and the base of this field, but it's not worth holding on to. So I'm gonna trim this off, and we'll pull off a few other roots that don't look very good. All right, so it's not a bad root system. There's not much of it here. The new pot that they're going in is right here. So what I'll do is I'll just place, oh, and I should say the base of this pot has lava stone in it, and this may actually have been the problem with this Phalaenopsis, is they like it a little bit moister than what the lava stone can provide. So that's why I'm trying this not bark, but a petiole mix, because I think this will hold the water a little bit more than the lava stone will. So I'm going to put this in here, and I'm actually going to mix this. So we'll put it in here, and I'm going to add. This is just funny stuff. I'm going to add this too, and then I'm gonna put some leca in here too, just to kind of help stabilize it a little bit. It's hard to do with when I'm holding it up like this, so I'm going to put it down. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to finishing this guy up, and this is going to be interesting, because this stuff is, I mean, it's really airy, as you might imagine, because it's just big chunks of this, but it also, I think it'll really retain the moisture. And as with everything that I do, we'll see how this goes. So we've got the big chunks here, and it seems to be pretty secure and in place, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let me just kind of show you how this looks. And so it looks a little funny, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, that's all there is to it. What I'll do, the next step, I got to put my, I'm sorry, it's not the last step is to not forget to put my tag in here. And I'll mark it repotted in the date palm petioles, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll you know, it's okay. We'll give it a good drink of water now. We'll just put it back where it was and see how it grows. So that's all I have. I do want to say, if you have a unique potting mix that you'd like to share with me, you can add it to the comments, or contact me. But I'm always looking for kind of new approaches and interesting ways to do things. So now that's all I have for today. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what I do, please subscribe to my channel, and happy propagating.